It's a nice award to have early on in your career. Most prizes, I mean, even things like Nobel Prizes, are given towards the end of people's careers, whereas the Fleming Medal given early in people's career I think is a good, very different of course, but a good stimulus for young scientists to say, yeah, actually, I'm doing all right.
It meant I'd been recognised by my contemporaries and fellow microbiologists for my contribution at my early stage of my career, so it meant a lot to me in that sense. I don't think I fully appreciated at a kind of more emotional level quite what it meant in the sense of the people who had Flemings before me, and looking at the quality of the people who came after me. It was, I have to say, I was very pleased and honoured, but it was incredibly useful in my career.
I think it's the first time, particularly as an independent researcher, you get some validation of what you're doing by your peers, and it's very humbling to do that. And you know, it inspires you, obviously, but also it allows you then to have a little bit more authority, really, I think, should do, about where you go next, and try to use the Fleming Award as a way of actually going on to the next phase of your career, really.
It was seen as an esteem, as a mark of esteem, and helped me move my career forward, and it played an important part in helping me get my first and only chair position in Manchester.
I got things out of order in terms of the events in my career. You're supposed to win prizes like this as a young investigator and then get eventually appointed to senior positions in academia. In my case, I already had a chair when I won the Fleming Award. I think for me, what it meant was confirmation. The people who selected me when they recruited me to the chair made a good pick. So the society had basically confirmed their good judgment. And that's reassuring, because when you're only 34 and you're appointed to an established chair in a prestigious university, you do wonder, you know, is this just luck? Have they made a mistake? Or is this a sound decision on the part of the appointments committee? So I think the winning of the prize helped me to get over that.
I wish I'd known more about the way of the academic world, because I was quite young. So I suddenly found myself as a professor at the age of 35, but not really understanding what that really meant in the broader context, apart from as a measure of personal recognition. So I wish I'd known more about that, because I think I could have been a more effective professor early on in my career if I'd known that.
If I'd have had the knowledge now, I'd be much more confident when I was a Fleming lecturer that I could have had impact, and probably I would have had more impact. Sometimes you have to learn these lessons as you go along.
I think what I wished I'd known is how interesting and how important microbes were going to become. At the time, many people thought microbes were great as models to work out molecular biology techniques and procedures which could then be applied to mammalian cells and mammalian diseases and human diseases, rather than as really interesting in their own right. At the time, a lot of funding for microbiology was being cut because we thought we knew everything about microorganisms. We thought we'd cured most infectious diseases. How wrong we were, how wrong everyone was. And I wish I'd had the foresight to realize how wrong that was and stayed perhaps for longer actually in microbiology rather than moving my research to mammalian cells, because there was so much exciting things to find out and so much of such importance.